Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA DFS content, prize picks content. All these videos, they get posted on this subreddit right here. I have it linked down below if it would load my posts. You can find my posts right here. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You could ask me questions about the slate. Pretty much anything you need, I will have this link down below. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right here. All right. Today was just a bad day. Bad day. Let me see if I cashed on FanDuel. I highly doubt I did not cash on FanDuel today either. Yeah, no cash on FanDuel. Today was just, luckily the 333 did not, or it filled up early because I would have been in that. So thank God for that. But my core today was Paul George, Delon Wright, Al Horford, and then I told everyone to get to at least one of Norman Powell, Terrence Mann. Just this slate was just mid. 254 was the winning lineup today. Just a bunch of mid. That's all I can say. James Harden is just a bum. I swept prize picks, swept the board. I think I went 5-0 on props, and James Harden just chalked every single pair. He couldn't hit his discount. Just crazy stuff. But yeah, that was my core. Not going to do a ton of in-depth on why I played each play. I swapped onto Luka after the quote that he was sick. I thought people would swap off. So I swapped onto Luka. I needed cheap value. That's where Mason Plumlee came in. I didn't love it. It's just whatever. Yeah, pretty awful slate, if you ask me. Now we get into a pretty good slate for tomorrow. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, they're both going to be doubtful. We're going to make this like a 5 to 10 minute video max. It's only 2 games, so we'll fly right through these. Bucks, Chris Middleton, 39 in a blowout. Or this is not the game. My apologies. Wonder if I have both the games wrong. My apologies on that. Do they not have it up? Why do I only see Bobby Portis 7 minutes? 4:30. One sec, guys. Guess they don't have it. My apologies. We will just go to NBA Wowie and we will look at the rotations here. All right, Bucks. Malik Beasley, 27 minutes. Bobby Portis, 39 minutes. Chris Middleton, 39 minutes. Pat Bev, 36 minutes. Brook Lopez, 30. They all lost some minutes due to the blowout. Gallo was getting some minutes. Jay Crowder was a DNP. Pat Connaughton got some decent minutes. And that was basically it. Andre Jackson didn't really play too much. And yeah, that was it, man. So let's take a look at pricing. Let's go over the slate. I mean, once again, I think you have to really like Chris Middleton. I think you have to really like Bobby Portis. I think both really stand out to me at their respective prices. Bobby Portis is probably a more optimal play between the two, but I still think both are a little bit too cheap. Both are going to run the offense. Both are going to play big minutes. Must win here. They're not playing at home, which is fine. It's going to happen. They're probably going to shoot 20 plus times each. I think both look really good here. Like both quite a bit. Once again, it's a 2-game slate. You could absolutely play both together if you wanted to. Brook Lopez at 6.2K. I think it's fine. Should play mid-30s minutes. He does get to use his one with Giannis off of the court. Not my favorite play of the Bucks, but I think he's firmly in play. We'll see what his ownership comes in. I think he's a solid play. Like, he's going to project for like 28, 29 fantasy points, maybe even 30. I think he's decent. Going to play big minutes. So, like all 3 of the top guys here. And then I think there's some value here we have to consider. Pat Bev, I mean, he looked completely fine last game, so I'm going to go under the assumption that he is completely fine here. In my video last time, I told you guys he was going to be low owned because of the last game, and he was 5% owned on a 3-game slate. He just absolutely shattered it because people were scared to click on him because of the injury. He looked fine out there. So I am going under the assumption that he is full go here, and we're going to get big minutes. I think he's a really solid play at 5.6K. Stat sheet stuffer, energy guy. That's kind of what you need in the playoffs, right? Going to play big minutes. 5.6K. I still think is a solid price point for him. So yeah, I think Bev's a solid play. Beasley, they left him wide open last game. I think some adjustments will come for him. And if Beasley is going to be a really popular play, I think you really could make the argument for fading him. It's just in general a really, really tough matchup. The Pacers are really good at defending spot-up shooters. I don't know what happened last game as to why they left him just wide open, but I think some adjustments will have to come from the Pacers side of things. So maybe you could have a small edge here in fading Beasley tomorrow. I think he probably will be popular. I mean, he already has a low floor when he's not hitting his shots, but if we're disregarding ownership, yeah, he's firmly in play, a solid value. But I personally think he's probably going to be one of the more popular value plays on the slate tomorrow. It's only a 2-game slate, but it's just a really bad spot, man. The minutes have also been volatile. Like, there are games where he could play 20 minutes and I wouldn't be shocked. He played 8 first half minutes and then they left him wide open and he played pretty much the entire second half. So if we're disregarding ownership, yeah, I think he's a solid value, but I think, might go a bit over-owned is what I'm saying. I think Pat Connaughton's a pretty decent value play at 4K as well. Should play anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes. He's a stat sheet stuffer. I don't mind him for value. Definitely my favorite outside of Beasley if I were targeting any of these guys. Don't know why Danilo Gallinari is getting run. I don't know why... where is... Crowder's DMPing. I just don't know what we're doing here. But yeah, definitely one of the better teams to target on the slate, in my opinion. And let's move on to the next game. Let's move on to Indiana. So, taking a look at Indiana's rotation, we can take a look and see what happened. Oh, it's the same game. My apologies. Nesmith got in a massive foul trouble because he lost some minutes. Tyrese Haliburton was on pace for close to 40. Nembhard on pace for close to 40. Siakam on pace for close to 40. Miles Turner on pace for 38. And then that's it. You're going to see some T.J. McConnell. You're going to see some Obi Toppin getting some backup 5. And you're going to see some Ben Shepherd. That's basically going to be it for this team. All right, without further ado, so Siakam has been giga chalk every single slate. Nobody's wanted Tyrese Haliburton, so if everyone's going to click Tyrese Haliburton, you could make the argument just to go to Siakam tomorrow. I'm always just going to pick the lower owned guy between these two guys. I think Haliburton probably looks a bit better now at the same price points, 8.5K, 8.6K respectively. I personally, honestly, prefer the Bucks guys to both these guys, but I still think both are decent options. Ownership's going to tell them what I want to do with both. Siakam, the Bucks have done a great job defending him after he torched him for the first 2 games. And then, Tyrese Haliburton should play big minutes, stat sheet stuffer. I like him quite a bit at this price point as well. Hasn't really shown the ceiling of late, but we know he does have that triple-double upside, that 60-point ceiling. He doesn't even need that. Like 50 fantasy points at 8.5K, you are cruising at altitude. So I do like both the top 2 guys here. I think, Haliburton does look better to me if we're not factoring in ownership, but if you want to go to lower owned guy, I think that's could be good, right? Because Siakam's been giga chalk every slate. Haliburton's been low owned. Who's to say that Siakam doesn't have a good game tomorrow at low ownership if everyone's going to go to Haliburton, right? But the guy I absolutely love here, once again, is going to be Miles Turner at 7.2K. 31 minutes. His rotation was a bit weird in I believe his first or second half. I'm not entirely sure. Second half, I want to say. But I would expect high 30s minutes. He was not getting over 30 minutes in the regular season. He is over a fantasy point per minute guy. So if we're giving him high 30s minutes, he is going to be a really good play still at 7.2K. If we take a look at center on this slate, I mean, you do have some decent options. You have Joel Embiid, you have Bobby Portis, but he has power forward eligibility. You have Miles Turner. We'll see with Mitch Robinson, but I think Miles Turner, to me, looks like one of the best center plays on the slate at 7.2K. I really like Miles Turner. Once again here, going up against the Bucks. And I like some value here. Nesmith, Nembhard. Both very, very good values for this slate. Both are going to play massive minutes. Now, they're not going to be high usage guys when they're out there, but it's mainly just a minutes thing, right? So, like Nembhard, like Nesmith, quite a bit. T.J. McConnell should see teens minutes, probably around 15 minutes. Shot the ball poorly, but we know he's going to be extremely high usage when he's on the court. 4.2K is still reasonable. He is firmly in play. More of a GPP value, but I still like him for value. Obi Toppin is in play as well. I think, I probably prefer T.J. McConnell, but Obi firmly in play. Wish he was cheaper like he was when we were on him. I believe it was this game. He smashed, but firmly in play still. Ben Shepherd's been getting run. If you need a min-price start, I guess it's okay in large field GPPs, but yeah, that's about it. Let's move on to the New York Knicks. And I think you could see some adjustments made for the Knicks tomorrow. I don't know, man. It's been a long series. This is game 6. OG and Josh Hart have played the entire game, back-to-back games now. So like 50 minutes, 53 minutes, 50 minutes. I don't know. Could see some adjustments, maybe with the minutes, maybe like Dante plays a bit more, or Thibs can just be an absolute psycho and continue to play Hart and OG the entire game. But without that being said, I think Brunson's probably going to be popular tomorrow. I think it's for good reason. He's been absolutely incredible for fantasy. I don't know for real life. He probably lost him that game in overtime last game, pretty much ball hogging, not passing. He had an 83% usage rate in overtime, just absolutely wild. But yeah, going to shoot the ball probably 25 plus times. He's a stat sheet stuffer. Going to play 40 plus minutes. He looks really solid. I still think he's a solid play at 9.7K. Josh Hart, I mean, what's not bad to say about him? I mean, he doesn't have to score to pay off this price point. And if you think that is a psycho, which is the most likely outcome, that he's going to play the entire game, he's very, very safe. Like, he went 0-7 here, put up 36 fantasy points, right? It's a good rebounding matchup for him. He's been cleaning up the glass. I have no issues with Josh Hart. I do prefer the Bucks guys at similar price points, but firmly in play. I like OG Anunoby quite a bit again. I think he's going to play big minutes once again. Like I said, Thibs, absolute psycho. Good defender that kind of needs his defense out there, right? Can get you rebounds as well. He's been shooting the ball a decent amount as well offensively. So I still think OG is very, very safe at 6K. And then Mitchell Robinson, we'll see. If he is out, you're going to get Hartenstein probably playing all the minutes he can handle as long as he stays out of foul trouble. I would expect mid-30s minutes from him. That would make him one of the better center point per dollar plays in the slate if you do think he does stay out of foul trouble. And then you would get Precious Achiuwa backing him up. And if you think Hartenstein gets into foul trouble, Precious Achiuwa could be a potential good value. I played him here. He crushed, played 20 minutes due to Hartenstein foul trouble. He'll be in the rotation anyway. Probably play like teens minutes, maybe low teens if Hartenstein doesn't get into foul trouble, like 12, 13 minutes. So in play regardless, but like if you're playing for that foul trouble, I think Precious could be a solid value at 3.2K if Mitch is out. And then if Mitch is in, I mean, he did a good job defensively, like on doubles up against Joel Embiid. He just had that one poor play at the end, which I expect Mitch to play here. We saw last game, they kind of split the center minutes. If Mitch is in, Hartenstein, still decent. And then Mitchell Robinson is firmly in play as a value of 4.1K. Just riskier because they've kind of been riding the hot hand between both centers when both centers are healthy. And then one guy that I think is just going to be giga chalk tomorrow is going to be Miles McBride. I mean, the minutes, they're probably going to be there. He's been playing incredible, right? Solid value, I think might go a bit over-owned, but I don't think you have to worry about that. It's 2-game slate. Yeah, he's probably going to be giga chalk tomorrow and probably over-owned, but yeah, it's 2-game slate. It's fine. We'll see. I'll make a decision based on Miles McBride tomorrow. It's 2-game slate. There's not going to be a ton of value. So like, play value, you can get different in other spots. We'll see. I'll make decisions based on what I see with ownership tomorrow. But disregarding ownership, yeah, pretty decent value. Moving on to the Sixers. So I'm expecting a similar rotation here of Maxey playing almost the entire game, Kelly Oubre playing high 30s minutes, Joel Embiid playing 40 minutes, 42, 43 minutes, Tobias Harris playing close to 40 minutes, Kyle Lowry playing low to mid 30s. Batum, his range of outcomes with minutes could anywhere be from 20 to 30, right? Campaign will be in the rotation as well. All right, so yeah, elimination game at home. Going to play big minutes, 2-game slate. Probably going to score the most fantasy points on the slate. Continues to go low owned. I really like Joel Embiid if you can find the value to fit him in. Tyrese Maxey at almost 9K, more of a GPP play for me at this price point, but I still like him. I've been very, very high on Tyrese Maxey in this series. He's just dominating usage right now. They're throwing doubles on Joel Embiid, so it's opening up more for Tyrese Maxey. We'll see what they do with game plans for Tyrese Maxey. I assume the Knicks will probably adjust, but we'll see. But yeah, like both the top two guys here for the Sixers. And I think Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre are both too cheap once again here. I think I prefer Tobias straight up to Kelly Oubre, but I think both are good point per dollar plays. I think they're both too cheap. Kelly Oubre probably is the higher ceiling. Tobias Harris can grab a bit more rebounds, probably the higher floor. Like both quite a bit. I think they're both too cheap. Kyle Lowry's playable at 4.6K, just there for me. Like, find as like a last piece in filler value if you need it. Stat sheet stuffer, it's okay. I don't think I get to much else here, so I think that's going to be it, guys. look out for adjustments tomorrow. I assume some adjustments could be made from these coaches. I'll get more into that theory and stuff like that in Discord. But this is just first look. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully you had a good night tonight.